Alright, it is time to ignite the flame of butthurt and get controversial. Today we're gonna talk about some of the most overrated movies of all time. These are films that got so much hype, critics loved them, media made tons of complimentary reports, public went crazy, but after some time, when you really think about it, were they really that good? Let's figure it out. But before that, what makes a movie overrated anyway? Well, first of all, obviously, it's too much hype. It's not that these movies are bad, no. In many cases, they're pretty good. But sometimes there is so much overwhelming praise and blind love that the movie itself can't quite live up to it. Second, the plot, of course. Some movies are pictured in media as groundbreaking, heartwarming, world-changing. In reality, their story is not the worst maybe, but sounds really familiar. So originality is out of scope. And finally, only one strong feature. Sometimes a single aspect like great acting or super visuals receives so much attention that it becomes hard to see movies' issues, like a weak plot or overcomplicated approach. So keeping this in mind, let's take a look at a few movies that seem to be a little overrated. Okay. And the first movie is... Oh, I admit, this movie has one of the most unique concepts presented in last years. Quite entertaining and creative visually, also technically brilliant and ambitious, but does it make it the masterpiece? Not really. The movie is a mix of ideas that sometimes simply don't work together. Even though the plot starts interesting, it quickly becomes lost in chaos and awkward humor. At some point, the craziness overshadows the story, and it gets more about being crazy for craziness' sake. It is fun for sure, but maybe not the movie of the decade some people say it is, and the message of being the best one and achieve all good without struggle, work and self-improvement. Well, that's what many want to hear, but it doesn't teach you anything at all. The number of awards this movie won clearly show us the recipe for success. The more confusing it gets, the more people praise it. Sometimes less is more, and everything everywhere all at once is a lot. For next one, we've got... You remember this one?
No.
Yeah, me neither. All-star cast of Christian Bale, Amy Adams, Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence, and a bunch of awards. Yeah, everyone was talking about this film when it came out, but turned out it's kind of forgettable, and today it doesn't come up when we think about great movies. Even though main cast gave a good performance, they couldn't save weak story and lack of direction. Add to that lots of unnecessary scenes, and now you're getting more bored than entertained. Like, what was the point of this movie? With all its awards and nominations, there is a feeling that the movie was complimented for the actors and atmosphere, rather than its actual content. The interesting and colorful package turns out to be the empty, boring story. Good example of how a movie can be overrated just because of the popular names in the cast list. The next candidate is...
How dare you?
Okay, I know, Joaquin Phoenix gave an outstanding performance. He was great. But let's put this aside, clear our mind from emotions and take a look at movie objectively. So, what do we know? Joker is one of the most popular and loved characters in the world, which obviously already attracts lots of fans to praise any movie or product that mentions Joker. Also, marketing for the movie was pretty smart and sometimes aggressive.
Joker.
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 Joker. Joker.
Joker.
Joker.
Joker.
Joker.
Joker.
Joker.
Joker, ultimate bad guy.
So, what did we get in result? Well, again, Phoenix acting was amazing. He deserved that Oscar. Visuals were also great, no doubt, but the movie itself doesn't live up to the hype. It was supposed to be about deep social issues and mental struggles, but was it? The Joker's fall into madness is too simplified and shown through physical violence rather than psychological breakdown, like it was shown in Taxi Driver. In the end, Joker seems like a movie people were told to love. It is overrated because it tries so hard to be deep, but after all, it's just another origin story that has been done better before. Okay, the last movie we're going to talk about is... Now again, don't get me wrong, this movie was a visual game changer when it was released in 2009. The CGI was amazing and 3D cinema basically exploded because of it. Although today we get an overdose with graphics wherever it's suitable or not, Avatar opened the door for lots of great visual ideas and opportunities. So the hype for graphics is fair, but when you put away all the visual effects, what are we left with? A story that sounds kind of familiar, characters that are quite predictable, and typical bad guys you're going to hate from the first minute. And yeah, no one is talking about how deep the characters were or how impressive storytelling was. Yeah, there was also an environmental message about protecting our own planet, but it didn't sound loud enough to make people think about it. And it simply drowned in eye-pleasing picture. So seems like Avatar is all about visuals. It is still a very good movie, but one of the greatest?
No.
That's where it gets overrated. And it will be surprising if you can remember any character's name besides Jake Sully. Alright, these were 4 movies that seem to be overrated. What do they all have in common? Well, they were hyped and received too much attention from media and public. But when we break them down, their stories are not original or even intriguing, and they have only 1 or 2 really strong and outstanding features. But that's unfortunately not enough. And again, just because a movie is overrated doesn't mean it's bad. I really like these 4 films and some of them are in my favorites list, but the expectations for them were just way too high. Okay, let me know if you agree with this list and what's your top of overrated movies. Thanks for watching and see you in next one.